At dawn on November 20th, 1989, Yvon Noiseux was awakened by a blue light shining into his bedroom. He glanced outside and saw 4 rectangular-shaped lights hovering in the air 100 meters away from him, just above his neighbor's house across the street. The incident only lasted a brief moment, then the 4 lights disappeared, all at once. They soon reappeared, just as bright as before, but they'd moved slightly to the west. The lights repeated this pattern 3 times before disappearing for good. At the same time, Daniel Galarneau, who lived in the house over which the lights were hovering, was awakened by an unusual noise.
I was woken out of my sleep by a noise. It was like a buzzing noise. I got up, or rather I sat up in bed, and I noticed that all the objects in the house had a bluish tinge to them, as if they were giving off blue neon sparks. I remember thinking how bright the light was inside the house. As I recall, the buzzing noise lasted about 12 seconds.
Yvon Noiseux and Daniel Galarneau are only 2 of many witnesses who saw strange lights that morning over Sainte-Marie-de-Mont-Noir, a small town southeast of Montreal.
We noticed a circle behind my house, on the property next to mine, a perfect circle, in a field where the grass was dried out like hay, since it wasn't usually taken care of. The grass was maybe 3 or 4 feet high, and there, in the middle of the field, was this circle, where the grass had been totally flattened.
The circle was 20 meters wide, and the grass within the circle had turned green as if in summer. The eyewitnesses contacted the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who sent Sergeant Antonio D'Angelo to investigate.
All of the grass outside of the circle was yellow, like hay, and about 1 foot high. But inside the circle, the grass was very green. We measured the circle, and it was 65 feet wide. But it wasn't an exact circle. I checked all around the circle, and there were no trace of any footprints. It was as if something had rested on top of it, like a fan.
9 weeks after the incident, grass and soil samples were sent to the Department of Agriculture at Laval University, where they were analyzed by Dr. Jacques Debroux. His results were astonishing.
From the analysis, we can see that chemical levels in the grass were twice as high within the circle. For instance, chlorophyll levels were 10 times as high, and nitrogen levels were twice as high compared to the grass outside of the circle. Given that the samples were taken in the middle of the winter, in February, I can't find any explanation for this difference between the results inside the circle versus outside of it.
9 months after the incident, a second analysis was performed using new samples of soil and vegetation. The results still showed unusually high levels of nitrogen and chlorophyll. Researchers also noted the growth of a plant that was not typically found in this environment. The circle on the ground in Sainte-Marie-de-Mont-Noir remained visible for a long time.
The mark stayed visible for, I would say, at least 3 years, until the property next to mine was sold and the grass began to be maintained and cut regularly.